Hey, what's up everyone? It's LikeAhero. Today we're going to be going over my SVD headshot build that I use pretty much for the first 3 encounters, depending on roles assigned or whatever. But I use this build for Buddy, Lucy, Boomer, and I use it. So one thing you're going to notice is that there's no Nemesis. I unfortunately deconstructed my Nemesis last night, and pretty bad, right? I had re-rolled it and I forgot to favorite it again, so I accidentally deconstructed it. So rip. So I have to wait about 2 more weeks. But this build is for the Nemesis. It's an SVD Nemesis combo build that you use for those first 3 fights on the raid. So let's go over the gun, most important part. I have an SVD build here with Naked, Allegro, and Rooted. Really important here is the Naked talent. Now Naked is a talent that headshot damage is increased by 50% while your armor is depleted. So at the start of engagements, I will nade myself, right? Stay at the outer edge of the nade, otherwise you'll kill yourself, but you stay at the outer edge of the nade and you deplete your armor completely, and that gives you 50% more headshot damage. Very good talent here for these headshots, right, when using this SVD build. Now I use a digital scope because Naked does require a scope with 8 times magnification or higher, so I recommended that you use a digital scope. You can use the VX1 scope as well, but get sharpshooter, should be using that anyways, right? And you grab the digital scope. Now as a mag, okay, there is an extended mag that you can get here. I don't have that. I have not been blessed with RNG to get it yet, so I just use the optimal range. On my grip, I use the stability grip. Now you can go with accuracy or stability, whichever one you really want. Again, it's up to you. I like the stability on there. And on my muzzle, I'm using a 5% damage to elites muzzle. Now let's go over the build itself. Now remember, I would be using a Nemesis here or that Weasel encounter for the Boomer, trying to get the over damage, the bleed damage. However, I deconstructed it, so just pretend we have it. You know what the Nemesis is. Rip my dreams here. Let's start with the mask. So on my mask, I use a Provenance mask that rolled with hazard protection and damage to elites and hard hitting. So I was able to get the max roll on damage, the max roll that I have, because it had already rolled with that. However, the more optimal build would be to have a health roll here and then the damage to elites and hard hitting, right? Hazard protection, it's okay, it's all right, but really don't need it. Now I'm using 3-piece Provenance and 3-piece Heraldry. 3-piece Provenance for the extra health and the weapon damage. Now let's just go over all my Provenance pieces first, then I'll go over my Heraldry. So on my Provenance chest piece, I have 12% weapon damage, 9% headshot. Pretty low, right? Headshot could be higher, could be much higher. However, this is what I got so far, and that's RNG for you in the Division 2. So I'll keep grinding for another Provenance piece that I can roll that to. I do have some like nice Provenance pieces or other things where I have like more weapon damage that I'm just waiting on to recalibrate over. But weapon damage and headshot, that's what this build revolves around. You want to get as much weapon damage, you want to get as much headshot as you can. Now I was lucky here, I rolled with hard hitting already, so that helps out. And my utility mod is a reload speed, because you're going to reload with SVD quite often. And then I have a health mod for 8,000. On my final Provenance piece, it is the knee pads, and again that 3-piece gives me that extra weapon damage, so that's good. I have a health roll on it with hard hitting and an offensive mod slot that gives me 6% marksman rifle damage and 0.5% of damage. So this is pretty good. Ideally for your mods on this build, you'd want marksman damage, marksman rifle damage, you'd want weapon damage, and then you'd want damage to armor. Those are the 3 rolls that you want on your offensive mods. So again, damage to armor, marksman rifle damage, and weapon damage. So that is my 3-piece Provenance. Now on my Heraldry, I use because it gives me more headshot damage, 10%, and it gives me marksman rifle damage. So on the holster, I have health, and I have precise rolled on there, and then I got lucky here with another offensive mod, so that's 6% marksman rifle damage, and 1% weapon damage, and then damage to health. Now, health is important, so I recommend for this build hanging around 100,000 at least. If you go under that, you might kill yourself with a grenade, or you're just going to be you're going to get one shot with if you get aggro or something like that. Shoot for 100,000 minimum of health. if you really want to get safe, you know, go for like 150, 200, right? I do have some utility slots on this, which would have preferred for them to be blue and health rolls, but it is what it is, RNG, you know. All right, on my gloves, I have the other Heraldi. I have 10% marksman rifle damage and precise here. And again, this is for the 3-piece, right? On my backpack, I have the Heraldi backpack with 11% weapon damage, and this is where I could have used like another health roll or something like that, right? It did roll with hard hitting. If you were really trying to be efficient, like I guess you could go shoot here for a like an efficient, which is the one that you don't consume a 50% chance to not consume a medkit. You're gonna want Heraldi, right? So you're not gonna get the double passive, but I would shoot for efficient if you're trying to, you know, get a decent one. Here I don't have the best marksman. Okay, I have 4% marksman rifle damage on this mod, and I have 1.5% weapon damage. Okay, again, marksman rifle damage, weapon damage, and damage to armor are the ones that you want. That completes my 3-piece Heraldi. Again, I get the marksman rifle damage. So 3-piece Provenance and 3-piece Heraldi is what you want to be going for this build. And as for the skills go, I use a Revive Hive and I use a Defender Drone. Now the Defender Drone I use because you're going to grenade yourself in those engagements, right, to get maximum benefit from your naked on the SVD. So you grenade yourself and then you use your Defender Drone and you're able to still have some survivability while rocking no armor, right? Because you want to make sure that you have no armor, because otherwise you don't get naked, right? And again, make sure you're using 8x scope or higher. You make sure you just use the digiscope. Okay, I'm just gonna say use the digital scope. But again, you need to have no armor for this 50% increase. That's the build. The sidearm does have the in rhythm. Again, I don't ever use it, but in rhythm does proc when you have it equipped on your sidearm, and it's really nice because it gives you that refresh cooldowns. You get your Revive Hive back, you get your Defender Drone back. Now let's go over to the stats page. Now with the SVD equipped, I'm sitting at about 257 headshot damage. That does not include 50% headshot from naked. And then if I had the Nemesis, that would be 25% more. So that would be 75% more. Now RIP, I'm gonna have to wait 2 more weeks to recraft my Nemesis because I'm a complete noob and I deconstructed it. Make sure, guys, after you re-roll your exotics, because you have to unfavorite them to re-roll them, make sure that after you re-roll them, sometimes I got real hype, right? I got like a really close to the max roll. I had like 200 damage away. So hyped that I forgot to favorite it. Lesson learned, make sure after you re-roll your exotics that you favorite them again. Now I do have the reload speed here, and so that gives me the utility mod, right? So a 4.5% reload speed. You're going to be reloading or not, so if you have utilities, you want to put the reload speeds on there. Ideally you want health, right? Now again, remember, so I have about 230 or 330 headshot damage with this build when naked is active, and I have the Nemesis in my equipped. The offensive test stats, I have 31.5% all weapon damage bonus, and then I have 51% marksman. Could be a little higher, right? I could get 53 if I had another 6% marksman rifle damage mod. So we're sitting at 82.5% weapon damage. So that's pretty nice. Again, I have 0 armor damage because my mods don't roll, but you want to have some armor damage here. That's ideal. Now my damage to elites is sitting at 85. That does increase a little bit when you have the Nemesis equipped because of the built-in mods on the Nemesis, but 85 is what I sit at with the SVD. Now make sure that during these engagements though, everyone, that you are aiming for heads on Bunny and Lucy. I would say that's the most important one. You can get headshots on them, so make sure that you are spamming your SVD on those headshots. But that's the build, everyone. 100,000 health, again 169,000 armor. Try to stick at least at 100,000, okay? Otherwise you're going to be running on naked, like literally naked, and it's going to be tough if you have anything below that, right? The nade probably will almost kill you. So that's the build, everyone. Thank you guys for checking it out. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section. If you like the video, make sure you like it. It helps us out a lot, and make sure to subscribe. We will be continue to release content on the Team Skills channel. So thank you guys so much. I also stream nightly on Twitch TV/LikeAhero. Again, my name is LikeAhero, guys, and I stream on there. So swing by, drop a follow on my channel there, and we can discuss more builds and talk all things Division. Thank you guys so much. Sorry if my throat sounds a little stuffy. I'm a little sick, under the weather today, but thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys later.